In this video, I will show you how to solve a system of conic equations. So I'm talking about circles, ellipses, parabolas, and hyperbolas. Now in problem number 1, the first equation is a circle. I can tell because the x squared and y squared both have the same coefficient, 1 and 1. For the same reason, the next equation is also a circle. X squared and y squared, the coefficients are 1 and 1. If the coefficients of the x squared and the y squared are the same, it's a circle. So we are looking for the intersection points of these two circles. The main tools that we use to solve systems are substitution and elimination. This problem looks like it would most easily be done by elimination. That's the method where you create opposites that will cancel. For example, if I were to multiply this first equation by negative 1, it will become negative x squared minus y squared is equal to negative 1. Now compare that to the other equation, which is x squared plus y squared plus 4x plus 4y minus 5 is equal to 0. If I combine like terms between these two equations, actually, let's go ahead and move the minus 5 to the other side of the equation so it will line up with the negative 1. So obviously if I add 5 to both sides, I will have equals 5. Now, if I combine like terms, the negative x squared and the positive x squared will cancel out. The negative y squared and the y squared will cancel out. So what I have now is 4x plus 4y, just these two terms, equals 4. I'm noticing that everything is divisible by 4, so I might as well do that. So that's going to give me x plus y is equal to 1. So let's do a substitution. Subtracting x from both sides, I get y equals negative x plus 1. So what I can do is take this and substitute it into the other equation. Alright, everywhere I see a y, so here and also here. Okay, so if I do that, I'm going to have x squared plus, now y is now going to be negative x plus 1, so this will become negative x plus 1 squared plus 4x plus 4 times negative x plus 1 again minus 5 is equal to 0. So I need to multiply this by itself. So I'm going to have x squared plus negative x plus 1 times negative x plus 1 plus 4x, and I'll just do a distributive property here, so that's going to be minus 4x plus 4, and then minus 5 is equal to 0. So I've got x squared. I'm going to double distribute this, or FOIL, whatever you want to call it, and that's going to give me x squared, let's see, negative x and negative x will be negative 2x plus 1. Alright, this trinomial comes from multiplying these together. Here I've got positive 4x and negative 4x, so they cancel each other out. Putting these like terms together, I get negative 1. Okay, now these are going to cancel each other out. X squared and x squared make 2x squared. So now I have 2x squared minus 2x is equal to 0. Okay, both of these are divisible by 2. So I might as well do that. Divide everything by 2, make my life easier. So now I will have x squared minus x is equal to 0. So the first step of factoring is really to pull out the greatest common factor, the GCF, which in this case is x, and that will leave behind x minus 1. Now setting these two factors equal to 0, I have x equals 0, and I have x minus 1 equals 0. So this is one solution to the equation, one value of x. Adding 1 to both sides, I get x equals 1. So that's another value. So, of course, this is not the final answer. As I build my solution set, here's what I have so far. Both of these are x's. So that means I have 0 comma something, and I have 1 comma something. All right, I have these two x values, but I still need the y values to go with them. Okay, and to find those y values, I will use this little equation right here. So let's see. Let's start by letting x equal 0. Okay, so this little equation will become y equals negative 0 plus 1. So y equals 1. So that means 0 comma 1 is one of my solutions. Now let's let x equal 1. So now this equation will become y equals negative 1 plus 1. Well, that's going to be y equals 0. That means 1 comma 0 is a solution. So this is the final answer. These should be the two intersection points of the two circles that we have. Let's take a quick look at Desmos.com and see what this system looks like, and let's see how we got these two intersection points. So as you can see, you have your two circles, and they are intersecting at 0, 1 and 1, 0, just like we found. Problem number 2 is very similar. This is a circle, and this is a circle. I know this because the x squared and the y squared have the same coefficient, 1 and 1. So whenever that happens, you have a circle. So let's find the intersection point of these two circles. Will we do substitution or elimination? Well, this looks like a good problem to do elimination. Imagine that I were to multiply the bottom equation by negative 1. This would become negative x squared minus y squared minus 2x plus 4y is equal to negative 20. Now if I don't change the top equation at all, then I have x squared plus y squared plus 12x minus 14y is equal to negative 60. All right, so elimination method is all about getting opposites that cancel. So in this case, the x's cancel, well, the x squared cancels and the y squared cancels. So if I put these together, I've got 10x and negative 10y is equal to negative 80. Now, I notice that all of these are divisible by 10. So I might as well do that just to make the numbers smaller and easier to work with. So this is going to give me x minus y is equal to negative 8. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and add y to both sides. And that's going to give me x is equal to y minus 8. So now I can do a substitution. Since x is equal to y minus 8, I can take this and substitute it back in to one of the original equations. So I'm just going to use the lower equation, and I'm going to take this x and I'm going to substitute it right here and also right there. So if I do that, I'm going to get, okay, let me just make sure I have room. So x squared will become y minus 8 squared. Then I've got y squared plus, now 2x will become 2 times y minus 8. And then minus 4y is equal to 20. Now y minus 8 squared is y minus 8 times y minus 8. And then I've got the plus y squared. Let's distribute this. So that'll be plus 2y minus 16 minus 4y is equal to 20. If I double distribute this, or FOIL, whatever you want to call it, I'm going to get y squared minus 16y plus 64. And then, let's see, so I've got plus y squared. I'm going to go ahead and combine these like terms right here. So that's going to give me minus 2y. And then I've got the minus 16 is equal to 20. Now I'm going to go ahead and combine these like terms. So that's going to make 2y squared. I'm going to go ahead and combine the negative 16y and the negative 2y. So that'll give me negative 18y. And I'm going to go ahead and combine the 64 and the negative 16. Okay, I'm going to get 0 on one side by subtracting 20 from both sides. So now I have 2y squared minus 18y plus 18 is equal to 0. Sorry, not 18, 28, I mean. I'm noticing that all of these are divisible by 2. So I should go ahead and do that just to make the numbers smaller and easier to work with. So that's going to give me y squared minus 9y plus 14 is equal to 0. Hopefully this is factorable, otherwise I will have to use the quadratic formula. So y squared is certainly y times y. 14 is 2 times 7. If I make both of these negative, that will give me the negative 9 as well. I can find solutions by setting each factor equal to 0. So y minus 2 equals 0, and y minus 7 equals 0. Adding 2 to both sides, I get y equals 2. And adding 7 to both sides, I get y equals 7. So this is half of my answer. as I begin to build my solution set, here's what I have so far. These are y values. So because I have a y value of 2, that means I have something comma 2. See the 7, I have something comma 7. I have these y values. I still need the x values to go with them. So where will I get these x values from? Well, look back over here. We have this little equation that we can use. All right, this little equation will help me find x values. So let y equal 2, all right, our first y value. So let's let y equal 2. If y equals 2, this becomes x equals 2 minus 8. So x is equal to negative 6. Okay, so that means we have the point negative 6 comma 2. So now let's go back again, and this time we will let y equal 7. Okay, if y equals 7, then x is equal to 7 minus 8. So x is equal to negative 1. So that gives us another solution. Negative 1 comma 7. So this should be our final answer. Let's take a peek at Desmos.com and see why these are the intersection points between these two circles. All right, take a look. These are the graphs of the two circles, and their intersection points are here, negative 1 comma 7, and here, negative 6 comma 2. All right, and that's exactly what we came up with by hand. All right, guys, that's going to do it for this video. Go ahead and click here in the red apple to watch the next video. Click in the green apple to subscribe, or click the yellow apple for the full playlist.